Sobe Restaurant and Lounge is a proud sponsor of the Autumn Joy Live Show. Sobe, surpassing the ordinary in Prince George's County with superior service and a distinguished and inspired menu. The Autumn Joy Live Show is sponsored by Everything Legendary, where plant-based is oh so good. For more information, visit our website at golegendary.com.
It's the Autumn Joy Live Show. Autumn Joy Live. It's the Autumn Joy Live Show. Autumn Joy Live. It's the Autumn Joy Live Show. Autumn Joy Live. It's the Autumn Joy Live Show. Autumn Joy Live. What's your favorite TV show? Autumn Joy Live. What's your favorite TV show? Autumn Joy Live.
Hello! What? Hello, everybody! Hey, Live Squad, how y'all doing? Oh, man, we have a packed show for you today, so I'm going to have to get y'all caught up on what I've been up to a little bit later on. But first, let's give it up for our guest DJ, DJ Alex Love. Okay, so DJ Alex Love, you are definitely like my top 3 DJs of all times, okay? That's why you're here, but what do you have going on? What can we expect?
Well, let's see. Friday we have the Dirty Goose. I'm actually doing the set R&B over at Howard Theater on Saturday, and Thirst Loves on Sunday.
All right, booked and busy. I love it. All right, DJ Alex Love. Well, of course, we have an amazing show for you today. How many of you know that it is Women's History Month, okay? So today, we are honoring 5 dynamic, amazing women in media and the broadcast industry. These women have graced our airwaves and television screens, keeping us entertained and informed. So are y'all ready? I am. Okay, so our first guest, she is a native of the DMV. She was born and raised right here in Tacoma Park, Maryland. She began her career as an entertainment host for local blogs in Washington, D.C. area. Her very first on-air job started at WDVM-TV in Hagerstown, Maryland. Now you can see her reporting the traffic every day. Live Squad, let's show some love for my girl, Shanika Crimshaw from DC News Now. Hi, Mama. You look amazing.
Thanks, man.
Of course. Woo. Okay, let's keep it going. Okay, the next dynamic woman is another homegrown phenomenal woman who got her start right here in this very building as a general assignment reporter and co-anchor for CTV News. She later went on to WBOC in Salisbury, then came back home as morning anchor for WUSA 9 News. She went down the street for a moment to Richmond and was the evening news anchor for WWBT. But guess what, y'all? She's back home, and you can see her every morning as morning co-anchor and reporter. Let's hear some noise for Fox 5's DC's own Makia Turner. Hi, gorgeous. Oh, man, this is so good. I'm not finished. Okay, you might recognize her voice, but you might not have seen her. The next awesome woman describes herself as the girl next door who grew up. She's from Anchorage, Alaska, where she began her broadcast career after a stretch as a reporter and news anchor for both Fox and ABC. She returned back to her first love, radio. She's a veteran of the U.S. Army, and you can hear her every day from 6 to 10 in the morning. Live Squad, give it up for my girl, 94.7 FM, the morning drive queen, Karina Delgado. Hi, Mama. Yes. Okay, we've got more. Okay, so again, we have so many amazing women here in the DMV, but I gotta keep it going. Now, she's from Beltsville, Maryland, went to High Point High School. She began her career at NBC4 as an intern, production assistant, and news writer. Her first reporting job was in Columbus, Mississippi. She won countless awards early in her reporting career that landed her back home covering the September 11th attacks. She came back to NBC4 in 2003 and hasn't left. She served as the first Prince George's County Bureau Chief. She is an Edward R. Murrow Award recipient and a multi-Emmy Award and AP Award-winning journalist. I can go on and on and on and on and on, but I'm going to run out of time, okay? So let's give it up for investigative reporter with the News 4 I-Team, Tracy Wilkins. Hi, Tracy. Thank you. right, finally. All right, so you know when Aretha Franklin used to be the last to walk out on stage and just set it off? Well, like they say, you save the best for last. All right, she began her career in radio in 1977. She is a magna cum laude graduate of Howard University. She's a native of Las Vegas, Nevada, but home is right here in gorgeous Prince George's. She is a recipient of several Emmy and many other awards. You can see her every year as the face and heart of Food for Families, a campaign which has fed tens of thousands of families at Thanksgiving. She just retired after 41 years on the air in Washington. Let's stand to our feet and show big love to none other than former award-winning news anchor and reporter with NBC4, Pat Lawson-Muse. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Woo, we got it, y'all. I am in such awe, but I have to take a quick break, and then we're going to be right back to chat it up with these 5 phenomenal women as we honor and celebrate women. Don't go away.
People tell me how lucky my daughter is to have been adopted. But really, we're the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
All right, welcome back. It's Women's History Month, so we are honoring women in broadcast and media. Joining me is an extraordinary group of women that are history makers and trailblazers in radio and television. Welcome to my couch, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
All right, welcome to my home. You guys like my digs? It's pretty cool. Yeah, I got to get a picture of all of us. I'm going to put it right in that space right there.
Oh,
So Pat, I want to start with you. You know, it's Women's History Month, and very early in your career, you did make history with your midday show, which I thought was really dope and lit all at the same time. So speak on that.
Well, in 1982, which is actually the year I joined NBC4, Barbara Harrison and I were paired together later in I think the fall of that year to do the 12 noon news show. And we got a call one day from a correspondent with Entertainment Tonight. Her name was Karen Kalish. And she said, did you all know that you're the first 2 women together doing the news together on local TV in the country? Oh, wow. And of course, we did not know. So it was news to us and to the news department. And that's sort of the little bit of history. We were the first 2 black women to co-anchor a local newscast together. So yeah, we made history and we didn't even know it.
Yeah,
Sort of by accident.
Wow. So, and you segued perfectly when you say the first 2 black women, you know, because I grew up watching you, you know, and so there were very few black women on our television screen. So did you ever in a million years think that your journey where you started was going to get you to where you were able to make history?
No, because I came here in 1973 to go to Howard. And when I got here and I saw these beautiful black women on television, I thought, oh, wow, I didn't know that I could do something like that, because where I came from, there were no blacks at all on television. Yeah. So it sort of opened, and this was 1973. And so it lit a fire in me. I thought, oh my goodness, I can do this. I want to do what they're doing. They became my mentors and heroes, J.C. Hayward, Maureen Bunyan, Lark McCarthy, Judelyn Lilly of Channel 5, Sue Simmons, Carol Simpson, who was the first network black woman to do a network newscast. J.C. Hayward stayed at Channel 9 for more than 40 years. She's the only other person that I know of, black woman or woman in this market, who's been on local TV news that long. And she was the first woman to present news on local TV in the Washington market. So she made history as well.
Yeah.
So I feel really, proud to be part of that history.
Yeah.
And proud to have an opportunity to stay at the same station for 40 years and 8 months.
Yeah.
And Karina, I did radio first. I started in radio, and then started my TV career in Baltimore. I feel very blessed.
Yeah, I feel like radio folks always can transition well into television. Would you agree with that statement, Karina? Yeah.
is the smooth transition from having, open conversation and just being always on the fly in terms of keeping things conversational, and so the transition is easy.
Yeah. And Karina, you're from Alaska originally.
Originally from Alaska, and then I moved to Houston, Texas before I was here. So I was broadcasting in Houston, Texas on KRBE out there. And of course here in DC on 94.7 The Drive, and then in Baltimore on Mix 106.5 in Baltimore. Yeah. And then with the lovely Shanika Grahamshaw at the DCW 50.
Yeah. So talk about that. Talk about your journey. Like, when was the moment that you found your voice and knew radio is really what I wanted to do? And then, of course, segue into television.
Well, actually, I began as a writer. I'm a writer, and I was going to school for journalism, public communication, and at the time, I wanted to write for newspaper, and I ultimately did get the opportunity to with the Anchorage Times and the Anchorage Press as well, simultaneously while I was in radio. But I found my voice as a performance poet, and that was actually when someone saw me perform, and they were in broadcast, and they pulled me in. They say, no, you need to be on radio. And I began my internship at that time, and honestly worked for free for 2 years, just scraping my way to the opportunity.
Yeah.
And eventually, and if you work hard and you remain consistent, eventually somebody's going to get fired.
Yeah. There's that. And you're right there waiting. Right?
And then I'm like, here I am. I'm ready to go.
I've been interning. And you know what I think is so interesting? I feel like this generation doesn't understand the beauty and the power of interning. They just want everything to be paid. Hurry up, I want to get on quickly. So funny. So Tracy, talk about that, because you two were at the same station, which I think is incredible that you all were able to stay at that same station, which speaks volumes about NBC. It's an amazing work environment, obviously.
Yeah, and Pat is one of my mentors, so whenever I see her, so it was very good to be at a station where I could look and see women who were doing it to show me that it was possible, right? And Pat's a part of that. So, she's been a mentor to so many of us and inspiring to so many of us. But yeah, I started as an intern. When I was at Frostburg State University, I got an internship at the consumer unit for News 4. And it was extraordinarily important because that's where I got to lay the groundwork and get to see people do what I wanted to do for a living and figure out how to move in this space and how to navigate it. And I know without a question, those years helped to prepare me for the rest of my career, And when I came, back after college, after I graduated, they hired me as a production assistant. So I had an entry-level position and worked at News 4 for about a year before I went out to start reporting.
Yeah, and you do investigative reporting. So what is the biggest difference between, I hope I say this right, is it desk reporting when you sit at the desk?
General assignment.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. General assignment, and then investigative reporting.
Yeah, so general assignment reporting or breaking news reporting, it's something happens and the reporter goes out there and tells the story, this is what happened.
Okay.
Investigative reporters tell you why it happened and how it happened. And what we're really hoping to do with that, thank you. Thank you.
Love the audience.
What we're really hoping to do with that is inform our reviewers and, in the best case scenario, move government and our citizens to do something about what's happening in their community. So investigative, we dig into data. We do government requests or FOIA requests for information to ask the government for documentation and for, whatever else we need to tell our stories. So we're the diggers, and our stories take a long time, sometimes months, sometimes weeks to tell.
Yeah, we can appreciate a good investigative report, right? I need to know why my groceries skyrocketed to the price that they skyrocketed. So thank you. Thank you for doing that. All right, you all, don't go away. We are going to be right back. I still have to talk to my girl, Makia, and my girl, Sharmika. So stay close, all right?
My advice to all the fathers out there, they grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.
right, welcome back. Now, if you're just joining us, I am in the studio with some powerhouse women as we continue to celebrate Women's History Month. Okay, ladies. Now, Makia, I have to start with you because you actually got your start here at CTV. So talk about your journey.
So my journey started right out of college. You know, you do all these internships. You think that, oh, it's, you know, I did what I needed to do. I'm going to have a job lined up. And that was not the case for me. Oftentimes from a lot of news stations, I know starting out, you hear, oh, we need someone with more experience, or you just don't hear back at all. And so
My audience is very animated. If you have not
I love
noticed.
it. They're engaged. I love it. And so when I learned about Prince George's Community Television, you know, I put on this gray suit. I wore it to every interview that I had once I started to get some. Came in here and asked if they were hiring. They weren't. And so I offered to volunteer here. And ultimately, that's how my career began. I started volunteering. That led to freelance work. And then that led to a full-time position. And from there, the rest is history. It's been 12 years.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and you're back here now at Fox 5. Congratulations to the, yeah.
Thank you. It's been a long journey to get here. So yes, started here at CTV, went off to Salisbury, Maryland, WBOC, a CBS Fox affiliate, and then actually went to Channel 9, where I did weekend morning anchoring, morning live reporter, fill-in traffic anchor, and then went to Richmond to be a weeknight anchor, and just got back here about 3 weeks ago. So this was the goal.
She's fresh back. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
And what I love the most is you all have that television voice, you know, like, and I always have been fascinated by that. And so, Shanika, my question for you is, you know, starting out, did you always have that voice, or did you have to like listen to other people and kind of remix it? Yeah.
It's funny, Autumn, because I had to work to find my voice. At first, I would, you know, watch TV, and, you know, the people I look up to, Pat, you know, I'd see Tracy, and you know, I'd try to, like, emulate and sound like them. And after a while, I'm like, let me sound like me, you know? And then after that, and after that, then it just comes natural. And, you know, there's certain words, and, you know, you read the prompter, too. There's certain things that you just have to enunciate more and just use your voice and project a little bit more. And I guess that just kind of sticks to you in your everyday life of talking. So everyone's like, oh, you have the reporter voice. So I don't try. It just happens.
Yeah, it's funny. People are like, talk to me in your voice. I'm like, this, right? It's like, do the anchor voice. What? I'm like, that's how I talk. So so me and Shanika, we've known each other for years. Like back in the day when we thought we were going to model and be on the front of Vogue.
Remember when everyone thought they were a model?
We thought we were models.
In the DMV thought they were a model.
But did you think from being a model, did you think that you were going to be where you are today?
You know what? No. You know, when I was trying it out and you know, thought, oh, this will be like, I'll be a runway type of model. And I'm only 5'3", by the way. But, you know, I thought to myself, photo shoot, I can walk down the runway, I can do it. But no, I didn't think that I would end up in this position. I thought maybe I would be like an entertainment host on, you know, Entertainment Tonight, Access Hollywood, you know, on the red carpet somewhere. I did not think that my journey would take me to covering local news right in my hometown, right in the area. Never left, by the way. And that is something very rare.
Yeah.
I mean, you just heard Makia say, yeah. And I mean, started in Hagerstown and just worked my way up. And here I am in DC, my hometown, and just feel really blessed to be able to stay here because it's not easy. You're not getting paid a lot starting out. So I had my family, I had my support system here, so I was able to do it.
Wow. So you had mentioned, you know, wanting to be part of, you know, ET. What is it? What did you say? Entertainment
Tonight, Access Hollywood. Yeah.
So Karina, you do Living Local DMV. So and that's a lifestyle show. So talk about like a day in the life, you know, because you all get up at what is it, like 3 in the morning and have to be at work by 4? Like, how do you do it?
2:45, Makia and I both. At 2:45, Shanika as well. I'm at work at 4 because I do the morning show on radio and then move over and do Living Local DMV on DCW 50, which is the lifestyle show, as you mentioned. And so a day in the life sort of looks like getting there at 4, producing those radio shows that I do actually across the country. So I'm on shows in Texas, New Mexico, and really all across the West Coast. That's my hashtag radio host coast to coast, you know.
I love that.
And then when you were speaking to those different voices, as you know, for people in radio, it depends on which format you're on.
Right.
So if a format is a top 40 or it's a hip hop and R&B station, perhaps it's a country station, then your delivery is going to be a little bit different, and then you have to adjust for that audience. And then the same goes for when you're doing commercial production.
Yeah.
And so I get all of that ready in the beginning of the day and then transfer over to TV. And I just hope that my eyelash glue is still, you know. I'm like, are my eyelashes still on? All right, let's go.
You do country radio, so do you have to have like a country kind of like accent a little bit? Do you ever
You know,
do
it's
that?
funny. I do the big voice. They call it the big voice for a country station, and it's when you hear that imaging in between the songs, and it's for 94.7.
Do it. Look,
94.7 The Wolf. So, but it's The Wolf. But it's wolf is one of those words that's weird to say, like rural. Wolf.
Yeah.
So I'd be like the wolf.
So Pat, you spoke earlier something really interesting. You've worked pretty much all of the shifts throughout television. What is your favorite shift that you worked?
I like the shift that I was working before I retired, the 4 p.m. shift. It doesn't mean I came in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I came in at 9 or 10 in the morning, and you know, we work all day on, you know, getting familiarized with the stories of the day, the news of the day, and now there's this social media. When I started, there were no hashtags, there was no Facebook, there was no TikTok, no Instagram, no Twitter, no X, none of that. So I didn't have to do all that. Now, you know, you come into this business and you've got to multitask, and social media is just as important as being in front of the camera and gathering your facts and pictures and telling your story. So, you know, I saw the transition happen. And I'll leave all that to you guys now.
Okay.
It's fun, but you know, it's necessary, and it gives us an opportunity to reach people where they are, because there's no more appointment television. You know, the news at 5, 6, and 11 on ABC, CBS, and NBC. Now the audience is fractured. And generations, you know, younger generations don't even own TVs. They have cell phones. So if you want to reach them with the news, you got to go where they are on TikTok and Instagram. You know, so.
Do you have TikTok?
I do.
Well, we're going to talk about that when we come back. Don't go away. We are going to be right back. Oh my gosh.
I am blind, but I need not see. I know this road is there for me.
All right, welcome back. I know March is Women's History Month, but we should celebrate women every single day. Now, ladies, we had some fun in the first two halves, you know, getting to know each and every one of you. But I do want to get serious because, you know, as women in this industry, it isn't always butterflies and rainbows. So Tracy, because again, you've been in the industry for decades and you've been doing it and successful at just one station. What is your work-life balance? How do you do it all?
Well, I want to say, first of all, getting serious, we don't have to start with me. But, but no, I did work in Columbus, Mississippi for almost a year, and I was in North Carolina for 4 years before I came back. But yeah, I've been here for 20 years. And, you know, starting out really young, I mean, when I came here, I was still in my 20s when I started at News 4. And I remember saying to myself, it was super important that I have work-life balance, even when I was in my 20s. And I've continue to do that up until now, however old I am now. And so because I have a little girl and a household and an older son and my husband, it's really important to me that I have these parts of my life balanced out in a way that brings me joy. And at the top of that list, it's my family. And well, let me say what's real. At the top of that list, it's God, and then it's my family. And then it's my job. So when you put these things in the proper order, it all just kind of works together. If I'm not good, then I'm not good for them. So I have to, and I'm not good for work, right? So I've got to keep everything just, and I'm a Libra, so we're doing this, you know, finding that balance all the time.
Both my sons are Libra, so I understand completely. Now, piggybacking off what Pat said, Makia, what are some things that you do personally to be successful in this industry?
Well, I want to piggyback too off of the balance thing because being in my 30s now, it's something that I'm far more intentional about, and I wasn't a lot in my 20s, just working hard. And then I found, okay, well, I do want a family someday, and I do want children, and I do want time for myself, you know? So, yeah, when you talk about what do I do to become successful, I just feel like I always try to stay just 2-3 steps ahead. I always had a vision. I always had my short-term, medium goals and my long-term goals, and I just did whatever it took to get there. And so every move I've made in this industry has been very strategic. So I knew that if the end goal was to be, you know, an anchor in my hometown someday, I knew that that would require me going away for a few years and just putting in the work and the time and the effort, and this is what the result came out to be.
Yes, I love it. Yes. Yes. So, Shanika, you know, I know sometimes that self-doubt will creep in. How do you overcome, you know, self-doubt or even like imposter syndrome sometimes?
Yeah, you know, it's funny you mentioned that because I think I reached out to you earlier and I said, God, what do I wear, Autumn? I'm nervous. And then, you know, I told my friend, and my friend said, well, you're on TV every day. And I said, well, it's not my set, you know, and so I think that getting rid of that negative self-talk. Oh, you can't do this. Why are you here? Why are you sitting among all of these women? Some women put in 40 years in the business. How are you here? You're only 7 years in, but you can't listen to that talk. You have to know that God put you here.
That's right.
And I do belong here.
Yeah.
And so there are times that I do feel like that, but then I say, oh, wait. No, I know what I'm doing here, and I belong here. And so that's how I overcome.
And you look fabulous, by the way.
Thank you.
So, Karina, we've got a couple or more minutes. What can you say to those young girls that are watching, people that are watching, that aspire to be sitting where you are exactly?
I would just encourage, to echo the sentiment that we've all said here tonight, which is hard work and consistency. And personally, to speak to what Pat was saying, I'm on the opposite side of that spectrum, whereas I had my son very young and then was parenting while I was coming up in the industry. And now here I am as an empty nester. And the lesson that I'm learning here, because I don't have work-life balance for me right now, my entire life is about career, but I love what I do. And so I don't need to find balance because I've learned that it's not necessarily about the destination. For me, it's about the journey. I love the process. I love to do the work.
Yeah.
And so I would just encourage young women to find what it is that they love to do and not necessarily worry about the destination, but loving the climb.
Yeah. Now, with our last couple of seconds, Pat, because you're on the other side. We're all still chasing and within our career and doing everything, but you've done it, and you're on the other side, and you're just living the life of retirement, if you will. So talk about that. How is life now?
Well, it's a transition, but you know, I can now do things that I couldn't do working every day. One of the most important things is that I can spend more time with my family. My husband and I are no longer ships passing in the night.
Yeah.
And I've had some time to spend with me. For most of my career, I've been the last on my list, caring for parents, working, caring for a church. My husband's also in politics, so I have all these other hats.
Yeah.
Took care of both mother and father. So I was last on the list. So now I can, take some time. I can work out every other day.
Go to the spa.
Go to the, and I can do engagements as I see fit, and I can spend more time thinking about it. I'm also going to write a book.
So So is that exclusive? Was that some exclusive tea for us just now?
No.
Oh.
We've been talking about our stories, my husband and I, for years, and now I have time to work on it.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's it, y'all. I'm so sad. I want to keep talking. Okay. Listen, I don't know what to say. I want to just thank each and every one of my guests: Karina Delgado, Shanika Grimshaw, Tracy Wilkins, Pat Lawson-Muse, and my girl Makia Turner. Thank you so much for joining me today. And of course, DJ Alex Love. So, DJ Alex Love, shout out your social media. Where can my Live Squad connect with you?
At Alex Love Legit. That is literally every social media platform, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, even my website, alexlovelegit.com.
Awesome. All right. Now, look, if you want to be part of my amazing Live Squad studio audience, just go to my website, autumnjoylive.com, and guess what, y'all? We're going to Jamaica, all right? We are going August 15th through the 19th. Grab those details on my website, www.autumnjoylive.com. Give it up again for my beautiful panelists, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Wake up every morning gorgeous.